good quality to have.
Alright, we shall get this started. FORTISSIM versus OSW.
Yep. This... Okay, no warm-up, it seems.
I see. OSW
jumping straight into
the MKO and already overwhelmed with so much clean.
Yeah, right off the bat, just immediately hit with a stream of garbage.
OSW going for Gamashiro this time, finding the color turner afterwards while FORTISSIM, oh my god, he's already going.
Yeah, FORTISSIM's immediately going into the PC looping, has to cut it off due to that garbage though. OSW is getting a bit overwhelmed by the amount of attack that FORTISSIM is giving, but, you know, still managing to downstack at a good enough pace to keep it going.
Ooh, very good dono by OSW. That is going to put a lot of pressure on FORTISSIM, which seems like that might be his downfall.
Yeah, that's a pretty lethal Q.
So much.
A pretty lethal Q gives OSW a pretty solid win there that round.
OSW, of course, going back to Gamashiro as his mainstay, while FORTISSIM trying to look for the STPC solve, but all this garbage really starting to take a minute there. FORTISSIM starting to wait and look at OSW's board and see how he can kill. Exactly like that. As OSW's power and stacking seems to really get the worst of him. Now FORTISSIM going into a 2-1 lead. I don't know where this is going to go afterwards, but judging by it, seems like OSW is slowly adapting to that. While FORTISSIM finding the second PC, but not getting it off, unfortunately, while OSW sets up that fractal in favor of back-to-back right there, going to 9. Has to break it, unfortunately, but that's
OSW with a nice counter there. Getting a good counter attack. Tying it up 2-2. We're going to be seeing a lot of that back and forth here, I think. Both players starting with the TKI. FORTISSIM going into it. Yeah, that's a T-spin double.
Trinity.
Okay, FORTISSIM going with a bit of it. There's a bit more than a Trinity there. But OSW has an STSD, but that situation is not looking too hot. OSW tries to find a downstack, but the pieces were just not working in his favor.
That's a very unfortunate Q by OSW. FORTISSIM now going back into the lead, but OSW might be able to take it in the next time like we've seen before. FORTISSIM and OSW performing MKO, while FORTISSIM has better downstacking vision, while OSW has to clear up what seems to be a very defensive-centric board. FORTISSIM is just playing so comfortably. Oh my goodness. Having to break that back-to-back, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like
OSW's playing a bit, I think, playing a bit slower than usual, but
that's what
at the same time, when you get hit with pretty substantial garbage queues like FORTISSIM and that misdrop,
but
still manages to find an out. Still manages to find an out. That's pretty good.
It definitely looks like OSW seeming to fix what seems to be a pretty bad mistake. Of course, having to waste a T for that overhang in order to kill Fort back 3-3. Very good recovery by OSW. Fort just clearly wasn't expecting it to happen. Even with that eye misdrop, it seems like it was going to be the end of this round, but OSW is pretty good at adapting all these mistakes.
Misdrops don't really take everything. It's just a question. Ooh, OSW is really trying to find a way to get around that, but just took too much time to deal with it. Seems like FORTISSIM's going to keep trying to get a lead over OSW. We are not using the +2 format here, so if FORTISSIM keeps the space up, he will still take the win. Indeed. Good color clear there from OSW. Oh. Yeah, both players about even right now.
OSW is looking to back-to-back a lot, especially with that a bit of ST.
Yeah, really keeping that good back-to-back, sending a pretty substantial spike. FORTISSIM's able to tank it though. Has to break the back-to-back there.
I could definitely see FORTISSIM trying to look for a very even, flat setup right there, especially with that T-spin, but OSW is looking to cancel a lot of it in favor of keeping that level of survivability, while FORTISSIM just breaks the 10 back-to-back right now.
There's the Kaiden from OSW. I saw a count to 4. OSW is really OSW is really doing a good job of keeping that back-to-back there, but unfortunately, FORTISSIM's just going to set a huge spike over.
You could definitely
plays on
see.
time.
You could definitely see the adapting playstyle from FORTISSIM being able to see OSW's play here and there, but FORTISSIM going for the STPC spin, going for the 17 spike already, and since we're already in the mid game, it seems like OSW doesn't really mind it all that much, knowing his experience as a guideline player. And judging by the looks of it, it looks like OSW is just
good setups here from OSW. There was an STSD there and manages to keep that back-to-back, keeping it up at 11. Something to call Spinal Tap.
You can definitely see the efficiency right there from OSW. Of course, very high.
Yeah, really wanted to get that floating T-spin, but just did not have the pieces to set it up properly. That's unfortunate. FORTISSIM's gonna start making that gap a bit wider between them.
OSW not resorting to openers, going for 6-3 while FORTISSIM finds the extra DPC.
Yep, and there's the PC loop incoming. Not quite anymore, but... Ooh, yeah, FORTISSIM close to the top of the board. OSW needs to be a little more aggressive, but I'm not sure if that's possible in this current situation, especially not with this board state. Ooh, and that was a good find from OSW. Manages to stick in it a little bit. Has to break back to back, but I mean, it's more important to stay alive.
God, OSW just has too much garbage that FORTISSIM sent. Just both of these players going back and forth, trying to look for ways to kill each other.
OSW is starting to send more lethal garbage, but FORTISSIM immediately with a counter.
Just sending it all the way back as FORTISSIM has a pretty big 9-0 clean advantage, using that ST stacking to create tons of back-to-back pressure, while OSW back to playing at neutral in the same spot, but all this garbage is going to be sent back.
Yeah, there's huge spikes from FORTISSIM, and it's just going to be too much for OSW to handle. FORTISSIM taking another point. If OSW could have cleared that one line, could have just had a lot of good access to really good garbage. Unfortunately. Ooh, and the misdrop on OSW's board, that's going to be a quick top out. Ugh.
You really hate to see it right there. Just what we've seen from a lot of players is that one mistake tends to pile it onto another, and we've seen that with Westel a lot lately, and especially with his playstyle, since we've seen both these players play similarly. But FORTISSIM also suffering a bit of misdrop syndrome right here. Just couldn't exactly get themselves back down and do enough damage. While OSW sets up that 25 spike.
Ooh, that's a huge spike. Yeah, that's going to be too much for 4 to handle, especially with that board state. OSW still in this. Down but not out. Just needs a few more matches to close this up.
OSW is clearly going on the line right here, considering that this is in fact losers semis. But OSW making pretty good use of that 9-0. Oh my god. Yeah.
Keeping that back-to-back going, up to 12 now. Counting to 4, gets another quad, gets another T-spin. Like, really breaks it off there. Ooh. That board... Ooh, that's quite a bit of garbage incoming. OSW is still in a pretty decent state to keep things going, and yeah, manages to make the comeback there. 8-5, OSW is catching up slowly but surely.
Seems like he's getting back to the groove of things, while FORTISSIM is just trying to look for as many PC setups to kill OSW as fast as he can.
But OSW sends that. Yeah, OSW sends that garbage. Manages to stop that PC loop from continuing.
When you see FORTISSIM trying to set up plenty of these PC solves, you're just giving ammunition for OSW to shoot with. But even then, OSW cares more about the mid-game than everything, as he's just looking for these setups. That T-spin looks just a bit greedy right there, but...
Ooh, nice solid spike. Oh, FORTISSIM's board state not looking too hot, with a nice T-spin triple kick, but that's just not going to be enough. That vertical eye is going to top him out. Wow.
That's not enough to save FORTISSIM.
Yeah, FORTISSIM, FORTISSIM might be slipping a little bit, but, we're still going here. Was that a Hachi spin?
Was it? I gotta look back on that, but either way.
I mean,
oh my god, Fortissim clearly looked like he was trying to look for a TST, but OSW right now clearly has plenty of clean.
You can see you can see OSW starting to really pick up the aggression a little bit. Definitely definitely starting to pick up the pace, realizing who he's going against. And wow, oh my god, another spike there from OSW.
Definitely seems
Really
like
keeping a solid position at the bottom of the board.
Very
waiting for an attack. Okay.
Very good.
Just biding his time. Ooh.
Oh,
but yeah, Fortissim found an opportunity through that. Wow.
That was not looking good for OSW. That was not the optimal way to downstack all of that, but OSW quickly setting up that MS2.
Keeping the MS2 going. Kind of just like almost a tried and true method you'll see from a lot of players these days.
I like that mini setup by OSW, but
and yeah, Fortissim sending a lot of big spikes, but OSW is like managing to downstack all of it at a good enough speed. Yeah, it manages to take back that round. Look at this, 9-7.
Look at how close this is getting.
Yeah, this is like OSW is making the comeback here. It's entirely possible that he could take it all the way back and deny Fortissim the win.
It might be pretty risky for him, but that downstack from OSW really working in his favor while Fortissim is setting up the 7-2 downstack combo. Pretty good count to 4 by Fort 2, while OSW, that's just, like I said about the ammunition thing, that's just a pretty good setup, which is something that Fortissim is really known for. And Fort is just already
huge attacks here. But OSW actually has, like, the best, like, actually finds really good ways to downstack that garbage. You know, a lesser person would have topped out already by now, but, like, OSW is definitely, standing up to the challenge.
The mid-game MKO from OSW, continuing with the back-to-back, already starting at 11, already sending so much.
Ooh, that's at the bottom of the board, counting to 4, keeping that back-to-back going. That was some solid plays from OSW. Fortissim is now only 1 point ahead of OSW. OSW could tie this back up. There's a TKI from OSW. Fortissim with the perfect clear proceeds to loop it.
Very good donut by OSW.
Oh, and OSW manages to skirt by. Oh, and that team mischop, though. It's going to be match point for Fortissim. This is really all or nothing for OSW now.
You can either just take it or leave it. This could be anyone's game right here. OSW finding the
OSW is going to be doing a perfect clear. Follows it up.
That looks so risky.
Ooh, that is... Yeah, that was a little risky.
No,
OSW is just starting to downstack. Managed to find something decent out of that. Sends a pretty sizable spike considering the circumstances. Yeah, OSW seems to gain more of a stable footing here, but, you know, against Fortissim, you're going to have to do a lot more than that to survive.
Fortissim is already trying to send so much to OSW, but the C-spin from Fort, I think that might be it, but OSW cancels it immediately, so just pardon my words right there. OSW has
OSW,
what are you doing?
Spent a little too long setting up those pieces. That is, yeah, Fortissim's gonna find the advantage there, but, wow.
Very unfortunate. OSW losing twice to Fort. That was very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate, but I mean, OSW put up a much more considerable fight.